Hi friends, so here we have the Gearfoam Max 14mm 3D 18K carbon fiber finish by Joysent, which is a very relatively new company, but keep in mind this is USAP approved, so it's tournament legal. Now out of the box, this thing does come pretty light stock. Mine actually measures at 7.75 ounce, and with my modification, which is an overgrip and 3 grams per inch on each side of the 9 and 3 position, the total weight of this comes up to 8.1 ounce modified. So it's a very light paddle out of the box. And actually, when you open up the box, it's pretty cool because it actually comes with 12 3-ounce lead tape already included, as well as 2 overgrip. So you actually start playing out the box and modify to your desired finish. Personally for me, I don't really use lead tape just because it is hazardous, so I use tungsten tape. It looks the same, but it's this one's a little bit thicker, but at least it's safer for me. In terms of playability, this paddle is a true all-court paddle. So I would highly recommend this for anyone starting out new to pickleball, because although in 2026, 99% of the paddles coming out are power paddles, I would say for those starting off, I would recommend all court, because you want good control, and this does have a lot of control, and it's very easy to play. And now in terms of the elongated shape, this is so maneuverable. Mine measured at 108 swing weight, but the twist weight is kind of on the lower end at 5.74. Now after the modification, which is the 3 grams on each side of the 9 and 3 position, this went up from 108 to 112, which is negligible. It's still the maneuverability of a hybrid. Now out the box, I wouldn't recommend playing the stock just because it is so light that if you get smashed on, you can feel it, especially the paddle slightly twisting from that low twist weight. I believe once I brought the weights in, the twist weight went up to like 6.5, but I'll put my the exact specs in the comments description. I like the overall look of it. It's pretty much cyberpunk aesthetic. And the weave, it definitely reminds me and feels exactly like the Diadem Blue Core edge paddles, where it has a pretty good spin. The way the ball comes off of it is very predictable, and it's very, very controllable. It's not a power paddle in any means, even with the weight setup, but it is so maneuverable even though it's elongated. Part of it is because it's 14mm, but the second thing is really that swing weight and the stock weight. It's so light. So for people that have a hard time with heavy paddle, but they like the reach and elongated, this is a really good choice. It's a very new company called Joysent. But I do like the aesthetic. It does look a little bit on the cheaper end, the closer you look at it, but playability, it plays great, and it does have a lot of embellishment, the paint on texture, very cyberpunk, cyber-esque aesthetic. It's not unique in a way in that basically it's not going to be revolutionary mind-blowing, but I would say for beginners starting off, this is a pretty good paddle to look into because it gives you all the player characteristics you need for starting out. You have a light swing weight, 4 elongated, you have a lot of, you actually have the 2 edge tape built in, as well as a lot of lead tape for you to pretty much do what you want, adjust the paddle. Don't expect this to be any power paddle in any way, and really keep in mind that this is mainly for beginners, I would say. But overall, very good paddle. Doesn't have a lot of grit, but it does come very spinny stock. I would just say pretty average in the 2000 RPM numbers, but it's exactly the spin ability of a Diadem the Blue Core edge. So you ever play one of those, it's pretty much exactly the surface texture, which is still pretty nice to look at. I do like the square boxes you can see on this very 3D-ish. Now in terms of the core construction, it is supposedly a floating core, and it's called Gearfoam because it's in the shape of a gear. I would say out the box, sweet spot is a little bit on the small side, partly because it's elongated, but it does open up quite a bit once you add the weights. So my preferred setup like this, I'll put exactly the the balance point, everything inside the description. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll reply when I can. Keep in mind though, Joysent did reach out to me first. I didn't actually ask them for this, and they sent me a paddle. So I did got this for free, but I was not obligated to make a review. I just thought it was a pretty cool paddle that does feel niche in that it's good for beginners starting out with that wants elongated, doesn't want to spend like 200 because I think it's like 130, and it already comes out the box ready to play since you got all those modifications and extra bells and whistles. Any questions, message me. Any questions, reach out to me or use my code MAIKO on the website to get the discount 10% off. Have a good one.